so please bear with me. Hey, Stan Shields here. I want to share with you some thoughts and ideas with regard to summer camps. Now, if you're a small business that is service-oriented, membership-based, meaning that you operate a martial arts school, gymnastics, dance, Spanish studio for kids, foreign language for kids, any of those kinds of businesses, the summers can be brutal at times. And we typically will see enrollments drop off. And as I was just sitting here thinking about this and working on a summer camp for Karate Denver, I thought, I should share some of these ideas with the business community out there. So if you've got some of those kinds of businesses, then this broadcast will be of interest to you. If you don't have that kind of a business, it may not be so interesting to you. Here's the thought. Right now, we're at the beginning of March. If you have not started planning for summer camps or summer activities, or some activities that will help you level out revenue, level out income over those summer months, then you're a little bit behind the game with those. Here are a couple of ideas for you. Summer camps. Summer camps can be a leveler for you. It can help you level out the revenue and to even things out during those torturous summer months at times when students sometimes disappear and they're not showing up at your studio. Here's the summer camp idea for you. Now, there are a lot of people that do summer camps already, but this is a different kind of an idea. My studio did these particular summer camps for 5 years, and we had some pretty good success with these. I was fortunate. I had my martial arts school, a dance studio, a Spanish studio, or not Spanish, but foreign language studio for kids, as well as a Dart Wars. Now, Dart Wars is one of those organizations where the kids get to go and they get to shoot Nerf guns at each other. So they have Nerf battles all day long at this place. Well, we were all right there in a little cul-de-sac, so it was all in one little tiny area. Literally, we could just walk from my business right over to those other businesses very easily. So we put together a camp, and we called it the Enrichment Camps. In fact, you can go to our website and see enrichmentcamps.com, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The way the camp worked is it was a 1 week long camp, 8 hours per day, which meant parents could really take the kids, put them in this camp for an 8-hour day, and they're going to be worn out and exhausted by the time they get home. The camp would start with my martial arts program, so 2 hours in the morning, starting at 8 a.m., we would do martial arts for 2 hours. We would then take the kids next door to the dance studio, and they would spend another 2 hours learning hip-hop, theater, cool dance moves, whatever it was that they were teaching as part of their 2-hour curriculum. We had 15-minute breaks in between these in which we would have snacks and they'd get a little bit of rest. But if you know how kids are, kids don't need that much rest. Because if you give them too much time, they're going to just take that time and figure out something to fill it with. They're going to figure out how to play dodgeball or tag or something in that time. So 2 hours with martial arts, 2 hours over to the hey Duncan, how you doing, buddy? 2 hours over to the dance studio, and they would do their work there, and then they'd have a 30-minute lunch break at the dance studio. Then they would do Spanish lessons. Now, Spanish lessons were quite cool because it was not a just sit and learn Spanish. It was a total immersion kind of a program. So in that case, they were doing things. They'd have Olympics and everything else, but they were totally immersed in Spanish. So they had to say everything and do everything in the Spanish language. So that was quite cool. And then they would spend 2 hours there, and then they would go to Dart Wars, which was amazing because they would go to the Dart Wars program for the last 2 hours of the day. So from 3 to 5, they would be at Dart Wars. This worked out perfect for the dance studio, the martial arts school, and the Spanish studio, because then our regular classes would be starting at that, right around that time. The Dart Wars did not have any such thing as regular classes and so forth. They just had their regular Dart Wars program. So the kids got to spend that final 2 hours at Dart Wars, and they were really worn out at that point by the time that they went home. So my suggestion to you, you probably aren't in a little area like we were. It's almost like a little cul-de-sac. You probably aren't in one of those necessarily with all 4 of those businesses there, but get creative with that. Figure out how can you team up with some other businesses that are those exact same types of businesses, or those businesses that have that exact same target market. If all of the you can come up with some other businesses that their primary focus are kids between the ages of 3 and 12. You can put together one of these summer camps for them. Now, you may have to do it at one location and have others come to that location. A year ago, I closed my martial arts school, but we still run these camps. And so Karate Denver just goes to the dance studio, and for 2 hours, they'll use one of the studio floors, and they will do the martial arts portion at the dance studio. Now the kids are already there at the dance studio, so they just stay there for the dance. The language portion is actually right across the hall, so they just come over and do that. But that's pretty easy to transport that. So language, if somebody wanted to come in and do language for your camp, it's fairly easy for them to bring whatever materials they need to come to your location or a designated location in order to do the camp. Ideally, if you can find one of these, either a Dart Wars kind of a business, or a laser tag kind of business, or any kind of a business that will get kids running and moving and keep them excited for that whole time. If our kids would have played Dart Wars all day long, had we given them an 8-hour Dart Wars camp, they would have done that all day long. All right, so let's see here. What other ideas did I have with that? So that's the gist of we call it an enrichment summer camp. Again, it's finding other businesses that have the same target market as you. So if those businesses, that their primary customer base are kids between ages of 3 and 12 years old, then you can team up with those other businesses and create a camp. It could be that it's maybe just 2 of you that does it, and one group does 4 hours and the other one does 4 hours, or you do something that is maybe 2 hours on, 2 hours off kind of a thing. There's a lot of ways to do it, but just get creative with that. If you come up with 3 of you that can do it, then that works as well. It just so happens that we had 4 businesses that could team up together to do those camps. So that worked out perfect for us. Like I said, the camps were 1 week long. It's 8 hours per day, and we charged $2.99. And we're doing an early registration, so if someone wants to get signed up sooner rather than later, they got a $25 discount. It could be more. Maybe if you make it a little bit more, you'll get more early sign-ups with it, and people will jump on that deal right away. But that's an idea for you with regard to one of the summer camps. The other summer camp that I did very frequently is a rank camp. Rank, as in martial arts. The students could do a 1 week camp. They would train for a minimum of 4 hours per day, and we would train for the whole week. So it was a half-day camp. They were then able to test for their new rank at the end of the week. Now this was a little bit different. This one was only for color belts. Black belts could do the camp, but they would be more of an assistant in the class. They would learn to teach. It was an opportunity for them to improve their skills and so forth. I did do a few times where our black belts could do a midterm. During that, it was not for their next rank, but it was a midterm test for them to help to prepare for their next rank. And so the black belts could come in and do that, and their camp was half price. It was the full camp fee for color belts was $250, and that included their testing at the end of the week. Black belts could do that same camp. It was $125, but we would make them more of a leader, and they would assist, so forth, unless they were planning on doing a midterm. Then we would do a midterm with that. But a camp like that's a lot of fun because you can teach a lot of very specific curriculum during that 1 week time, and it all flows together. So they're getting a highly concentrated dose of martial arts during that 1 week camp. It was a lot of fun because we got to put in everything from forms. At some camps we had them create their own forms, so throughout the week we would teach them certain moves and allow them to start working on putting their forms together. Sometimes we would do a piece of the curriculum where we would teach them one of our standard forms. They would learn it and then have to perform it for us at the end of the week. We had a number of different strategies that we used. There was a lot of self-defense that we taught during that. It was everything. It was sparring. It was weapons. You can put in it whatever your curriculum is. I would always try and just break out some of the curriculum that we would do over a normal testing cycle, and we would put all of that into that week. So they would have a minimum of 20 hours training on whatever that curriculum was for the week. For those camps, we charged $250. Now, if you think about that, if you charge $250 for that camp and you get 20 participants for that camp, if you get 20 participants in that camp, that's a $5,000 week. That's a nice little boost to your regular enrollment, or I'm sorry, not enrollment, but your regular income for one of those weeks out of the summer. So if you're doing a rank camp as well as you're doing an enrichment type camp or some other camps in the summer, that'll help to boost your revenue during the summer so that it's not as big of a hit as it sometimes is. If it's a larger school, you can get more than 20 people in those camps and can work out really well for you during those summer months. So those are just a couple of quick ideas, because if you're going to do camps at all, then now is the time to start planning your camps and marketing your camps. I would suggest that from a marketing standpoint, you really want to at least plan those camp dates and start some emails going out to your existing student base and your leads database right away so that you have those dates plugged in and people can start to see what they are. Many of the moms out there start to plan their summer camp activities early in the year, and so if we wait too long, then we're going to miss out on that opportunity to get some of those moms or get those kids in there for those summer camps. Those are my camp ideas. If you have not joined, or if you're not following me on my Facebook page, I invite you to start to follow me on my Facebook page. It is facebook.com/StanInShields. It should be in the title of both of these broadcasts, so you would see it very easily. Facebook.com/StanInShields. As well as you can go to my website, StanInShields.com, and sign up on my email distribution list there. I don't send out a bunch of emails. You're not going to get blasted with emails from me. But if there's more information that you would like, come check me out on Facebook. Leave a comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions or give you additional information if that will help you with that'll help you with planning those camps. That's it for me today. Have an amazing weekend and a prosperous year with regard to your business. Thanks again.